In early 2023, Sean Hannity made headlines with a significant life decision. He announced that he was leaving New York and relocating to Florida. The move, though not entirely unexpected for those familiar with his career trajectory, drew considerable attention given Hannity's long association with New York, where he had lived and worked for many years. For the outspoken conservative commentator, Florida represented more than just a change of scenery. It embodied a new political environment that better aligned with his values. Hannity, who has often championed conservative causes, expressed admiration for the political landscape in Florida, which he described as more favorable to his beliefs than New York's more liberal atmosphere. Florida's policies, especially under Governor Ron DeSantis, were among the factors that motivated his decision. He praised the state for its commitment to individual freedom, limited government, and its robust stance on conservative issues, including those surrounding education, business regulations, and public health measures during the COVID-19 pandemic. Hannity's shift to Florida wasn't solely driven by politics, however. The decision also reflected a broader trend of high-profile conservatives moving from liberal-leaning states like New York and California to Florida, where the political climate was seen as more in line with their personal and professional values. In his public statements, Hannity emphasized the appeal of Florida's political leaders, including DeSantis, Senator Marco Rubio, and Senator Rick Scott. He found their leadership style and the state's overall political direction far more congenial than the progressive policies of New York, which he felt had become increasingly unfriendly to conservatives. The prospect of being in a state where his political views were more in tune with the local culture and leadership made Florida an attractive destination. Beyond politics, Hannity's move also made practical sense. As an influential media personality, his decision was undoubtedly influenced by the benefits of living in a state that offered a favorable tax climate, with no state income tax, and a general commitment to low taxation. For a figure like Hannity, whose career involves a significant amount of media exposure and public interaction, the financial advantages of Florida were clear. Living in the state allowed him to maintain his public image while benefiting from the tax advantages and overall economic policies that Florida is known for. In making this move, Hannity was not just joining a growing number of conservatives relocating to Florida. He was also signaling a shift in his personal and professional life. Hannity's relationship with Florida had been long-standing. He had already owned a vacation home in Palm Beach for some time before deciding to make Florida his full-time residence. His decision to move from New York to Florida in 2022 was seen by many as part of a broader exodus from states with high taxes and more liberal policies toward those offering a friendlier environment for business. Personal freedoms. This relocation was a major chapter in the ongoing shift among conservative figures looking to settle in a state that mirrored their political, economic, and cultural values. This transition also spoke to Hannity's evolving place in the American media landscape. While he remained a fixture on Fox News, the move to Florida underscored his growing prominence as a media personality who wasn't just engaging in political commentary, but actively shaping the conversation around American conservatism. The decision to leave New York and establish a home in Florida reflected a new chapter in Hannity's life, one where he could not only work, but also thrive in a place that aligned with his personal convictions and offered him a better environment to do so. Sean Hannity's decision to move from New York to Florida in 2023 was influenced by a combination of personal, political, and financial reasons. At the forefront of his move was the appeal of Florida's political climate, which resonated more strongly with his conservative beliefs than the increasingly liberal atmosphere in New York. As a vocal conservative figure, Hannity had often criticized New York's political leadership, particularly on issues related to taxation, business regulations, and social policies. Florida, in contrast, offered a political environment where conservative values were not only accepted but actively championed. Under Governor Ron DeSantis, the state had enacted policies that aligned with Hannity's views, especially in areas such as education reform, business freedom, and public health. Hannity expressed admiration for the state's leadership, particularly DeSantis, whose approach to governance on topics like COVID-19 education and personal liberties echoed the values Hannity had long espoused on his shows. The contrast between New York's progressive policies and Florida's conservative stance was a key motivator in his decision to relocate. Another important reason behind Hannity's move was Florida's favorable tax environment. Unlike New York, which has some of the highest state income taxes in the country, Florida has no state income tax. For a high-profile figure like Hannity, whose income is derived from multiple media platforms, this offered a significant financial advantage. Florida's low tax policies and business-friendly environment were appealing not only for personal financial reasons but also for the opportunities they presented for further media ventures. Living in a state with such a tax structure allowed Hannity to keep more of his earnings and invest in his various business endeavors, which include real estate, media production, and even philanthropic activities. The economic incentives of Florida made it a logical choice for someone with Hannity's financial standing and career trajectory. On a more personal level, Hannity had already established a connection to Florida before his decision to move full-time. He had owned a vacation home in Palm Beach since 2021, a property he had purchased for $5.3 million. This location was not just a seasonal retreat, it had become a place where Hannity could unwind and escape the pressures of his public life. The move to Florida, therefore, did not come as a complete surprise. It was the natural progression of his growing affinity for the state, where he had already found comfort both in its political atmosphere and lifestyle. Florida's warm weather, coastal views, and relaxed pace of life were further incentives for someone who had spent decades working in the fast-paced, high-pressure media world. Additionally, the state's real estate market was another factor that influenced Hannity's decision. He made the decision to upgrade to a larger and more luxurious property in the upscale Manalapan area, situated just a short drive from Palm Beach. His new home, purchased for $23.5 million, boasted spectacular views of the Atlantic Ocean and the Intracoastal Waterway, as well as a range of high-end amenities. This move allowed Hannity to enjoy the privacy and tranquility of a waterfront estate while still being in proximity to his work and the broader media landscape. The decision to buy a larger home wasn't just about comfort but also about creating a long-term base where he could continue his professional work while enjoying the benefits of Florida living. The decision to move also represented a strategic shift for Hannity in terms of his media presence. While he remained firmly established at Fox News, Florida allowed him to be closer to other like-minded individuals in the conservative media sphere. The state had become a hub for conservative media personalities, business figures, and political leaders, which made it an ideal location for Hannity as he continued to grow his brand. The presence of influential figures like former President Donald Trump, as well as other media personalities, made Florida a natural gathering point for conservatives. This aligned with Hannity's desire to be at the heart of the conservative movement in America, especially given the political and media landscape's increasing polarization. In conclusion, Sean Hannity's move to Florida was driven by a mixture of personal preference, political alignment, and financial incentives. His desire for a more favorable political environment, combined with Florida's tax advantages and lifestyle perks, made it an ideal location for the longtime media personality. The decision to relocate was not just about a change of scenery, it was about aligning his personal and professional life with a place that mirrored his values and offered the financial freedom and opportunities to further expand his media empire. The move marked a new chapter in Hannity's career, one that allowed him to continue his work while enjoying the benefits of Florida's economic and political landscape. When Sean Hannity moved to Florida, he encountered some unexpected challenges, particularly relating to zoning laws in Palm Beach. Hannity, who had already purchased a townhouse in the exclusive Palm Beach area in 2021, found himself in a complex situation when he considered broadcasting his show from his new home. Palm Beach, known for its high-end real estate and exclusive residential properties, has strict zoning laws that prevent businesses from operating out of private residences. This law posed a significant obstacle for Hannity, whose media operations required professional facilities to meet the demands of his show and other media projects. The town of Palm Beach, where Hannity had made his home, does not allow private residences to be used as business locations, a rule that is enforced to maintain the residential character of the area. The restrictions, according to local ordinances, ensure that homes are not converted into commercial spaces that could disturb the neighborhood's tranquility. This rule was particularly pertinent to Hannity, who, as a media personality, needed a suitable environment to broadcast his radio and television shows. Without the proper zoning approval, he was unable to operate his show from his Palm Beach residence, despite having invested heavily in the property. This situation was not unique to Hannity. Even the late Rush Limbaugh had to find an alternative commercial space to broadcast his radio show, despite living in Palm Beach. This zoning issue highlighted a potential conflict between Hannity's professional needs and the legal requirements of his new community. While his new home in Palm Beach offered stunning views and a high level of privacy, it was not situated in an area that allowed him to operate his media business from the comfort of his own property. The discovery of these zoning restrictions forced Hannity to reconsider how he would continue his broadcasting career. while living in his newly purchased Florida home. Hannity's decision to make this move was not a hasty one, and it seems he had initially hoped to find a way around these zoning challenges. He had already made significant investments in his new Florida home, purchasing a property worth $5.3 million in 2021, and later upgrading to a $23.5 million mansion in Manalapan. However, the realization that Palm Beach's zoning laws would prevent him from conducting business at home led to a shift in his plans. In the end, Hannity had to accept that in order to continue his career without violating local laws, he would need to explore other options for broadcasting his show. Despite these obstacles, Hannity's commitment to Florida remained strong. His move to the state had been driven not only by political reasons but also by the lifestyle it offered. The sunny weather, tax advantages, and proximity to other influential conservative figures made Florida a desirable location for someone like Hannity. However, zoning laws are just one example of the challenges that can arise when attempting to balance personal desires with the legalities of living in a particular area. In response to the restrictions in Palm Beach, Hannity adapted by choosing a new location to base his professional activities. His decision to build or lease commercial space that would allow him to continue broadcasting was likely an essential part of his long-term strategy to make Florida his full-time base of operations. While he had been hoping to maintain a low-profile lifestyle in Palm Beach, the zoning laws reminded him that the realities of running a media empire require certain accommodations. The zoning issues in Palm Beach were just one of many practical challenges Hannity faced when moving to Florida. Despite these setbacks, his move still aligned with his broader goals, and he quickly adjusted to the legal framework of his new state. These challenges served as a reminder that even in high-profile, wealthy communities, personal and professional ambitions must be aligned with local laws and regulations. Ultimately, Hannity's move to Florida was a blend of opportunity and practical considerations, and while zoning laws complicated his plans, they did not deter him from making Florida his new home base. In the years following his initial move to Florida, Sean Hannity upgraded his residence to a luxurious property in Manalapan, a small but affluent community in Palm Beach County. This decision to purchase a new mansion, priced at an astounding $23.5 million, marked a significant shift from his previous Palm Beach townhouse. Located on a barrier island, the property offered sweeping views of both the Atlantic Ocean and the Intracoastal Waterway, elevating his living standards and cementing his place among Florida's elite residents. The mansion's serene waterfront setting allowed Hannity to enjoy the best of both luxury and privacy, features that were essential for someone of his public stature. The property itself is a sprawling 12,000 square feet, with a design that embodies both comfort and sophistication. Built in 1990, the mansion had undergone significant renovations before Hannity moved in, including updated bathrooms, new flooring, and impact-resistant sliding windows, making it ideal for the region's climate. Its spacious layout features 8 bedrooms, 10.5 bathrooms, and expansive living spaces designed to accommodate both family and guests. For someone with Hannity's social circle, the home provides ample room for entertainment and hosting high-profile gatherings. In keeping with the coastal ambience of Manalapan, the mansion boasts a number of outdoor amenities designed to take full advantage of its stunning surroundings. The property features a large swimming pool and a dock with a newly installed seawall, making it perfect for boating and enjoying the natural beauty of the area. The home also includes a balcony and a rooftop observation terrace, where Hannity can relax and enjoy panoramic views of the ocean and the tranquil waterways. These outdoor spaces, combined with the luxurious indoor environment, create an idyllic lifestyle for the Fox News host. The interior of the home is just as impressive as its exterior. The mansion includes elegant features such as a cozy fireplace, a well-appointed bar for entertaining, and a wine room to house Hannity's collection. The presence of an elevator adds convenience, allowing for easy access to the various levels of the home. These high-end amenities reflect the kind of lifestyle Hannity sought when he made the decision to move to Florida, a life that blends luxury with functionality, all while being in close proximity to key political and social figures in the state. While Hannity's new home was originally listed for $29 million, it was eventually relisted at a more reasonable price of $25.95 million. Despite the price adjustments, the mansion was undoubtedly one of the most coveted properties in the area. Its location, right on the edge of the barrier island, ensured that Hannity enjoyed the quiet luxury of a private estate, while still being a short distance from the vibrant social scene in Palm Beach. The acquisition of this property further solidified Hannity's status in Florida, where many other influential conservative figures have chosen to make their homes. The decision to move into such a grand residence, following his earlier purchase of a $5.3 million townhouse in Palm Beach, shows his commitment to establishing roots in the state, not just for personal reasons but for professional ones as well. Manalapan, a small town known for its exclusivity and wealth, seemed like the perfect place for Hannity to continue his career, while enjoying a lifestyle that catered to his needs and preferences. Hannity's new luxury property in Manalapan is more than just a home. It represents a lifestyle choice, a way for him to balance his public persona with his desire for a comfortable, private, and secure living environment. In this new chapter of his life, the mansion serves as both a sanctuary and a statement, reflecting his success, his political values, and his deep connection to the state of Florida. Sean Hannity's real estate decisions over the past few years have mirrored both his growing influence and his increasing commitment to his new life in Florida. After making the decision to leave New York, Hannity began investing in properties that not only reflected his wealth but also aligned with his personal and professional goals. In 2021, he purchased a 3,800 square foot townhouse in Palm Beach for $5.3 million, which initially served as his vacation home. This property, with its prime location in the heart of Palm Beach, gave him an opportunity to enjoy Florida's warm climate while also being close to influential figures in the state. It was a step toward creating a base of operations in the state, away from the political and personal constraints of New York. However, it wasn't long before Hannity realized that the Palm Beach townhouse, despite its luxury, wasn't quite enough for his vision of freedom and lifestyle. By 2023, he had made the move to a much larger and more exclusive estate in Manalapan, a neighboring community known for its ultra-wealthy residents and serene coastal setting. The new property, valued at $23.5 million, is situated on a barrier island, offering breathtaking views of both the Atlantic Ocean and the intracoastal waterway. This new purchase, a mansion spanning nearly 12,000 square feet, features a host of luxury amenities including 8 bedrooms, 10.5 bathrooms, a private swimming pool, a dock, and a rooftop terrace. It was a move that symbolized Hannity's desire for an upgraded lifestyle that could offer both privacy and prestige, factors that were harder to come by in the bustling, more restrictive environment of New York. Hannity's real estate portfolio is extensive, with properties not only in Florida, but also in other parts of the country. A significant move was the sale of his Long Island property, which had been listed at $13.75 million, but sold for $12.7 million in 2023. The sale of this expansive estate, located in Center Island, was another step in Hannity's effort to consolidate his holdings and further distance himself from his former life in New York. While he sold the property at a reduced price, the sale was part of a broader strategy to streamline his real estate assets and focus on his new Florida base. His decision to sell his Long Island home, which spanned almost 6 acres, reflected his commitment to transitioning fully to Florida, leaving behind a significant part of his past. Before settling into his Manalapan estate, Hannity had used his Palm Beach townhouse as a secondary residence, but he quickly recognized the limits of such a property. It was clear that he desired more space and a setting that would allow him to entertain on a grand scale, while also being close to other influential figures in Florida. By acquiring a larger property in Manalapan, he was not only upgrading his personal living space, but also positioning himself within the elite circles of Florida's conservative political landscape. In terms of his business ventures, Hannity's real estate investments have been strategic. They reflect his efforts to create a new base of operations in Florida, where many other prominent conservative figures, including political leaders and media personalities, have chosen to settle. His real estate moves were also financially calculated, as the Florida properties offered him the privacy, luxury, and tax benefits that New York could no longer provide. With his increasing presence in Florida, Hannity's real estate decisions have positioned him as a major figure within both the media and political spheres of the state. Moreover, Hannity's investment in real estate aligns with his broader goals of securing financial stability and personal freedom. His decisions have reflected a desire to embrace a lifestyle where he is free from the political and regulatory pressures that have often defined his career in New York. In a state like Florida, with its lower taxes and more favorable business environment, Hannity can focus more on his work, including his broadcasting career, without the same constraints he experienced in the Northeast. As he continues to build his real estate empire, his properties serve as both a personal sanctuary and a reflection of his growing influence in the state. marking the beginning of a new chapter in his career and life. Sean Hannity's professional background is marked by a trajectory that blends media success with controversy. He began his career in broadcasting in the early 1980s, initially working as a house painter and building contractor before transitioning into radio. His first show aired on Keeks BM, a college station at the University of California, Santa Barbara, in 1989, but it was soon canceled due to controversy over some of his statements. This experience did not deter him. Instead, it served as a stepping stone, and by the early 1990s, he had moved to higher-profile radio stations in California and Alabama, eventually landing a national platform. In 1996, Hannity joined Fox News, where he found his true calling, hosting Hannity Colmes, a political talk show that became a cornerstone of the network's success. His style is characterized by a conservative, often combative approach, making him a polarizing figure. Hannity's political commentary, particularly his outspoken support for figures like George W. Bush, Donald Trump, and conservative causes, has led to criticism. His role in promoting conspiracy theories, particularly regarding Barack Obama's birthplace and the Benghazi attack, sparked backlash from critics who accused him of spreading misinformation. Despite the controversies, Hannity's ratings and influence have remained strong, making him one of the most prominent figures in conservative media. His support for certain issues and his directness have earned him both fervent followers and vehement detractors.